Welcome to Using the Key website guide. This is a whistle-stop tour for facilitators using the online system to take young people through the Key framework. To start off, you want to get logged in. So simply go to www.thekeyuk.org, click on the login section and put your email and password in the box as shown. If you do forget your password, just click on the Forgotten Your Password button or get in touch with a member of staff at the Key offices. So now it's time to add your group. So you simply click on My Groups, create a new group, click on the drop-down box next to Project Group and add a new group. So when adding a new project, your group will be at the stage where the group have decided their name, which comes under the group name. Anything goes as long as there isn't any profanity. The wackier the better. Then, once you've done this, select the organisation that you'll be working with the young people from. And once you've done that, the licence holder and the ward zone states the area that the organisation is based in, and the group type is the type of organisation the group is from. Once you've completed this, simply add the group. You will automatically be taken to the screen shown. As you can see, there is the option for this to be a special project, which are projects which are linked to the office that the Key currently has on. The next step down, you can see that the project title, which summarises the group's project idea. Below, this is a section that explains the initial ideas that the group has for their project. The group will have not planned their project yet, but will have their initial idea ready. Remember, in stages 3 and 4 there must be some form of community benefit within the group's project, which is classified as a group wider than the young people involved. The next section requires you to describe the panel style your group plan to use when explaining the project to a Key panel. So now you've added your project details, you'll be taken to the section shown. The next task is to add the members of the group, so clicking on the group members will bring you to this section. For stages 2 onwards, the group members will automatically be added to the group. Then, click on Add a Group Member. In the section shown, if you have done a Key project before with the young people in this group, or a group member has done a project with another youth organisation before, then you would type in their information and search for them. Otherwise, when adding a new young person, simply search for a member, which will bring up the new group member below. Then, fill in the required information below and add the member to the group. Remember, groups have to be between 3 and 7 young people and be between the ages of 11 and 25. Then, once you've added a group member, you'll be brought to the screen shown, which allows you to add their starter skills wheel and, if needs be, edit the information you have already added. So the next step will be to add the rest of the group members and add their starter skills wheel score. As mentioned in training, there are a variety of methods you can use to acquire the skills wheel score from young people. But once you have it, it is a simple case of adding them to the starter skills wheel score. So you've created your group, you've added their initial project ideas, you've added the group members with all their information and their initial skills wheel. Now it's time to submit this information to the Key for approval. Now the information that you've uploaded will be analysed, and if there are any questions and queries, the Key team will be in touch, which is most commonly to do with the group's idea, the size of the group and the group's information. If all that information is in order, you will receive an email from the Key, as shown on the screen, that your group of young people have been given the go-ahead to plan their project idea. You will now see the View Add Progress forms, which wasn't previously available. So click on this button and it will show you the progress that your group has already made through the Key framework. They have now completed the Think stage, as highlighted by the ticked boxes, evidencing the information you have uploaded. Next is the Plan stage. This is where your group plans a project idea they had in mind. As you can see, there is the option to utilise a group diary, which isn't necessary but can help the group evidence the work they have completed and reflect once they have completed the planning stage. The next step is to complete the group history report. This information will be available to panel members and helps them build a picture of the work your group has carried out and their background. As you can see, it requests that you explain how the group came together, so stating the background of the group and how they became a team is necessary. The rest of the form is a simple case of completing the answers to the questions that are posed. The final question is important as it provides panel members with the relevant information, which allows them to tailor their approach to the group of young people's requirements if necessary. Simply save the form when completed and click on the Back to Form List button. The next task is to upload the group's final budget. When completing this section, it is important to consider the items that the Key will not fund, which can be found in your documents library in your area. As shown on the screen, in order to add a new cost, you simply click the Add a New Cost button. When entering your costs, you are required to state what the money will be spent on and a breakdown of the number of items you would like to purchase. Then, once you've added the cost of each individual item, the system will automatically work out the total cost using the number of items and a cost per item to work this out. Then, once you've added each individual cost of all the items you require to purchase for the project, it is time to submit the project costs. Again, this information is checked over by staff at the key, so if there are any irregularities or changes we would recommend, we would get in touch. So now you've added the group history report and the group project costs, it's now time to book in the group's panel. The panel can be booked in a week after the group has had their initial project idea and information approved. As you can see underneath the What's Next section, you have the option to set the date, time and location of the panel. Once you've done this, click on the Submit button, which will then formalise the panel. Now that you've booked your panel, it's time to invite panel members. The requirement is that there is a minimum of 2 panel members on the panel to ensure that the young people's projects are assessed fairly and young people are developed through the experience. One member must be a key facilitator who is not associated with your youth organisation or young people, and the other can be a community panel member or a local community figure or another key facilitator. So on the left hand side of your screen you'll be able to see the facilitator and community panel member map, which is found on your home screen when logging into your key account. You can use this map to find local panel members and their details to then request to your panel. When searching panel members, you'll be able to filter their availability and location to increase the chances of the panel member being available for the panel. So as you can see, I found the information of a local facilitator within the search engine and requested them as a facilitator panel member. An easy way to use the search engine is to find the initial of the panel member you are requesting and click on their initial in the A to Z function. We advise that you add a number of panel members to your groups, as more often than not there will be people who are unable to attend the panel, and this ensures that you give your group the best chance of acquiring the panel members they need. If it gets close to the panel and you've requested panel members but they have declined or have not responded to your request, simply get in touch with the team at the key and we will try our best to get you the panel members you require. As you can see, I've requested a panel member to the panel and they've gone into the pending panel members section. Once the panel members have accepted or declined the panel request, you will then receive an email stating their response and they will have moved from the pending panel members section as highlighted by the screen on the right. At this point, the group will be pitching their project idea to a panel. The pitch to panel will include their project idea, project costs, and how they've developed the 12 key skills. Young people have free rein on how they pitch to panel, with previous groups presenting in a variety of ways ranging from rapping, carrying out performance, to a simple presentation. It's entirely up to them. The next task is to add the panel skills wheel, as you've previously done at the start of the project. So after filling in the skills wheel score for your group, you only have the panel report and the panel invoice left to complete in the Do section. So after your group's got that all-important yes on the panel, it's time for the panel facilitator to complete the panel report. You'll be informed through email once this is complete, and it's then up to you to check the panel report and save and submit this. The tick box next to this activity will be completed when this is done. So the panel facilitator has completed the panel report. All that is left to do in the Do section is a panel invoice. So this is where they place the final amount that your budget stated and information regarding where you would like the check to be sent to. All this information has to be approved by yourself, the facilitator, and the panel facilitator, which requires a simple tick of the box shown before it can be processed by the key. Please do not spend funds before they've been granted at the key offices, as we won't fund respectively. The final most important part of the Do section once completed the panel invoice is to press the big button stating apply for the project grant. Often groups sit waiting for the project grant because they haven't pressed the button. Don't be like those groups, just click the button. So at this point, the final checks are happening before your young people can be let loose and enjoy their project. So simply sit tight and the key will be back to you ASAP to let you know your check is on the way. Remember to check the What's Next messages, as this will keep you updated. So at this point, your young people will have carried out their awesome project idea. So now it's time to evaluate their journey through the key framework. So like you've done previously, it's time to add the final 12 key scores for all your young people in the group. Now you've added your final skills wheel score for your young people, you're on the final stretch. One of the final tasks is to complete the facilitator evaluation. As you can see, the form has a variety of questions that require filling out. The first questions are all helpful information for the key to acquire, so as much information as necessary will be hugely beneficial. Once you've completed the form with all the correct information, simply save and click the Back to Form List button. The way that the group evaluate their journey going through the key framework is entirely up to the young people. Popular methods are posters, diaries, videos, but again, this is entirely flexible. Any money which will have been budgeted for in the group's project costs, but for whatever reason may not have been spent, needs to be returned to the key officers. Some examples are on the day of their project there are deals or promotion offers which make their project cheaper. As tempting as it may be, the group can't treat themselves and use the unspent money, as they've not budgeted other activities or items which the money could be used for. This means that unspent money has to be sent back to the key officers, and you can find our address at the bottom of your screen. Also, all the receipts from the purchases that have been made from the budgeted items for the project must be sent back to the key officers as well. Once the key team have received the unspent money, receipts and group evaluation, the group is free to progress to the next stage. In progressing, click the Notify License Holder of Completion button. Remember, when progressing to the next stage, there must be at least half the group members remaining. Finally, the last section of the video highlights your area and the Documents Library, which is a range of resources which you can use to support your young people through the key framework. Within the library, you can find the certificates which can be used to congratulate young people when completing the key framework. So there it is, the end of the guide to using the online website as a facilitator. If you have any further questions, simply get in touch with the key team at theteam@thekeyuk.org or call us on 0191 731 7830.